In this video, I will be showing you how you can clone a fully functional Twitter client all in FlutterFlow without writing a single line of code. And if you're interested in viewing and cloning this specific app that I'm about to build, you can do that from my Patreon page, which you're going to see in the description below this video. So let's begin. Now, before we start actually building the app, it's very important to talk about the architecture. And in my opinion, this is even more important than actually building the app. And so here we have a quick diagram. And we begin with the login and registration. Okay, so somebody actually needs to create an account. They need to log in. We need to know who they are. And once they successfully log in, they're going to be redirected to the home page. And the home page is basically a list of tweets from the people I follow, okay, from the people that the user follows. So that's going to be the most important kind of homepage, and right below it is the action that the user can take. So in this example, they can unfollow the person from the list of different tweets. Next, we have a page that shows them the people that the user follows. I say I follow because I'm assuming I'm logging in. So these are going to be the people that the user follows. There's also an action to unfollow. Another page is going to list the people that are following me. Next, we have a page of all kinds of users, and essentially these are the people I can look up and I can follow. Okay, these are the people I don't have any relationship with, but if I want, I can follow them. And last but not least, we might have a profile page that lists, among other things, my own information, my email, maybe my bio that I can change, as well as my own tweets. The next thing is the architecture of the data. How we are actually going to be storing the data. This is super important, and you want to spend enough amount of time on this to make sure it's going to work together. So we have the users collection, okay? And inside the users collection, we're going to have an email. We're going to have an array of people that the user is following, which is going to be stored as a list of references. And we're going to have their UID as a string. And you can have other information there as well, such as their bio, age, gender, etc., etc. But right now, I'm only storing the email, okay? Next, we have a sub-collection, which is a sub-collection of tweets. And inside each of these documents in the sub-collection, the fields we're going to have are the name, which is a string, which is essentially the content of the tweet that they've tweeted, as well as a UID, which is essentially a reference back to the username. That way we can do some interesting data manipulation. Now, before we actually go out and build the app, let's talk about the database here. Now, I actually went out and created a Firebase project already. I created a database exactly modeled on that data architecture that I just showed you. And this is kind of what we have. We have a users collection, we have a bunch of documents, and we have the fields, and we have a sub-collection. So these are their tweets. This person has one tweet. We have another user. They also have a tweet. They have one tweet. And this user has another tweet. So we have 3 users, and they all tweeted once, okay? And I also set up authentication as well. We're going to be using email and password. As you can see, it's enabled. And so the Firebase part of this whole project is done. And now we can go into FlutterFlow and actually go out and build this app. So we're going to start with a blank app here. We're going to do next step. Here we need to enter our project ID. And we also need to enable authentication, user collection. Now, for the initial page, we're going to have a login page. So let's go ahead and create the page right there. We're going to do login. And for the login, I typically pick this page right here, because it has sign in and sign up. So they can register and they can sign in. So I'm going to say use my theme. And for the logged in page, remember, this is going to be the home page. Okay, this is going to be essentially a list of tweets from the people they follow. And let's go into content and see what we can find. Actually, let's go into lists. There's one really good page. So we can use a page modeled on this page here, because this is kind of a social network, social media type page. We're going to call this home page. I'm going to say use my theme, generate config files. So now we are inside FlutterFlow. So now we are inside FlutterFlow, but we're still not done with the database part yet. We need to go in here to this Firestore tab. And as you can see, we have a users collection, okay? Now there's still a couple of things that we need to add in here so that it matches up with the schema that we have here. So if you see, here we have a user document and we have a list of references that the user is following. So we're gonna go back here and we're gonna do that. So we're gonna say following. This is going to be a document reference. It's gonna be a list back to users we're gonna create. Next, we're gonna add a sub-collection that's gonna hold the individual tweets that the user has tweeted. So I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna say new collection, tweets, sub-collection of users create, and we need to create two fields, name and a UID reference back to the user themselves. So it's gonna be name, string, and then a UID, which is gonna be a document reference back to users. Okay, and this is gonna be important for us, as you will see in just a little bit. So this data scheme is now complete. Now we can actually go out and start building this app. Now the next thing that we wanna do is we wanna create a list of pages that we talked about in this architectural diagram. So namely, we need to create the homepage, which we already have. We need to create the people I follow, people who follow me, find new people to follow, and this profile, which is a list of tweets. Now, when you're thinking about this, you want to be thinking of whether each page is a list, a detailed page, etc., etc. So this page we already have. This is a list page. These all pages are essentially list pages. Okay, this is going to be a list, a list, a list, and this is going to be similar to this. Okay, also a list. So I'm going to create 3 pages that are similar and then a page that's similar to this. So we're going to go back to our app. We're going to find a new page that is going to be perfect for us. And the page I'm thinking about is this page right here. It already has a list of users here. So we're going to call it following, which means I am following them. We're going to say use my theme. And this is a page that essentially I'm following these people. They're not following me. I'm following them, okay? It's from first person. So I'm going to say people I follow, and we're going to delete all this, delete this container, delete this, and I'm going to say following people. Okay? You can also search if you want, people I follow. And this thing is obviously going to have a list of people that I'm following. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to duplicate this page 3 times because as you see, these 3 pages are all similar. People I follow, people who follow me, followers, and find new people to follow. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to duplicate it 2 more times, and I'm going to rename the pages. So here we have followers, meaning people who follow me. I'm going to say my followers, follow my followers. And then this page is going to be find new people to follow. So basically users. Users. This is going to be users, basically people that we don't have any relationship with. And so you can say something like find new people to follow. So now we have 3 of these pages. And I also want to create kind of a profile page that's going to be similar to this home page, except it's going to have the tweets that are my tweets, essentially, not other people's tweets. So I'm going to say duplicate, and we're going to call this profile page. Okay, and these are going to be the tweets that essentially my tweets. All right, so now that we've created all the pages, what we want to do is we want to start working on the individual page. Okay, so I'm going to go to the home page. And as you can see, this is not a list. This is essentially duplicate data. So we're going to come in here. We see this user post, and user post is the one that's being replicated. So we're going to delete. We're going to delete this user post. And we're left with 1 user post, and we're also going to delete the image because we're not going to be doing images in this tutorial. It's very, very easy to do images if that's what you want. The hard part is actually getting the whole thing working, but adding images, movies, video clips is very, very easy. So I'm going to delete all this, and now we have a user's image, we have their handle, and we have the text of their tweet, and we have something else. We have some icon there that maybe this could be used to unfollow the user or get user information. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to make sure we have welcome. And this is going to be a page that we're going to get redirected when we log in. So we want it to welcome us. So I'm just going to say welcome authenticated user. I'm going to just do email, okay? Because we're only storing email. We're not storing their name, but if you had a name, you can just do name as well. Very easy. So we have welcome email, and here I want to list the tweets of the people I follow. So if you go to my account, james@james.com, I'm following these two other people, okay? Just by default, just to show you how it works. So we're going to go back here. We're going to go to the social feed. And here we're going to select social feed. We're going to go to the database and we're going to do a query. We want to query tweets, but we want to get the tweets from the people that I follow if I'm logged in. When I say I'm referring to the user who is logged in. And so what we want to do here is we want to set a filter. We're going to add a filter and we are going to say UID is inside authenticated user following, meaning that we're going to go through the users, but we only care about the users that the user who is logged in is following. Very important to hit confirm here. And now you're going to get the tweets that I'm following. So if you go in here, I'm following these two people, which means I'm going to be seeing their tweets. So if you go in here, this is their tweet one. Let's rename it tweet user one. Let's go back. And this is the second user. I'm going to say tweet user two. I should be seeing their two tweets here. Now we also might want to show the username. Now remember, if we go in here, you see that we're pulling in the tweets. So we need to do something a little bit extra to get the username. So we're going to go to this user post. We're going to come in here. We're going to get document from reference. And we're going to say we want users. And we're going to go to tweets. And we're going to get the user reference. This one right here. We're going to say confirm. Now we're going to set this text here as an email, because we don't have any display name or anything like that. So we're just going to put email here. And when we run the app, as you can see, now it's displaying the users who actually tweeted. So as you can see, we're not showing our own tweet. We are showing the other users that we are following. Okay. Obviously, we can also change the image by getting it from the database and all that. That's very, very easy. So let's go back to the app and let's work on the other screens now. So we have the following, okay? So following is, remember, following is stored as a field that has a list of references. So this is how you show following. We're going to go back here. We're going to go to hierarchy and we're going to delete all the other user lists. We're just going to leave one here, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to come here. We have this list view here. We're going to come to generate dynamic children. I'm just going to say items, and we're going to set it to authenticated user following, okay? Because that's a list. We're going to say confirm, confirm. Next, we're getting references here. So we need to dereference. We're going to go to user list. And on this level, we're going to come in here. We're going to say document from reference, users. We're going to say items, confirm, confirm. Now we have the actual document, and now we can actually list the user. So it has the username. I'm just going to put email here. Email, and this is also email. I'm just going to put email as well. Now we have this view, and these are the people I follow, okay? So I can unfollow them, hypothetically. So this button is going to say unfollow. We're going to add an action, database, update document. We're going to go to authenticated user, user reference, and then we're going to pick the field that we want to remove the user. So we have the following field, and what are we going to do? We're going to remove this specific user from our own field inside authenticated user. So I'm going to come in here, user document reference. And so this way they're going to be removed. And so once the user clicks unfollow, they're going to be removed from the list and they're not going to show here. Next, let's go to followers. Let's fix up followers. And these are the people that are following me. So let's fix this up real quick like we did it before. We have our user list. We're going to delete it, delete it, delete it here. We're going to go into list view. We're going to do a query collection of users list of documents, filter where following array contains from variable user reference. Okay, meaning it's the other way around. Okay, we're gonna say confirm. And now we're gonna get a list of people who are following the authenticated user. Let's fix this up as always. Let's come in here, set from variable user documents. Just gonna put email. Here we can add a button to follow, right? These are people that are following me. I can follow them back. So I'm gonna come in here, follow. Let's make it a little bit bigger. I think it was 100 width before. 16. Let's set an action. Database, update document. Document to update authenticated user. User reference, add field. And we're gonna go to following. We're gonna add to set the reference. Meaning we're gonna add to set the user that we're seeing here. Okay? So we can follow them back. Now, if they are following me and we are following them back, we do not want this button to appear. Okay? So that is why we can set conditional visibility here. And what we can do is we can say authenticated user following list contains item, this specific user here, confirm, and we can do an opposite. Okay? Because if the user is in our list, meaning we're following them, we don't want this button to appear. Okay, so only this button should appear if the list is not there. Okay, otherwise that button is not gonna appear. Now, before we can run this app and actually make sure this page is working, we need a way to get to this app, and that is why we need to create this nav bar here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a nav bar on each of these pages here, except the login, obviously. We're gonna do a nav bar, and the profile as well, which we're gonna fix up as well. All right, so now we have the nav bar. Let's fix it up a little bit. Following, let's put some people in there. Maybe something similar. Users, this could be something like this. And then we have a profile. All right, so we have different things there. And let's go back to our followers and let's run the app now. Okay, so here's the app. We got the app bar. Here we have people I follow, right? So these are the two people I follow. I can unfollow them. Here we have my followers. Okay, so this person is following me. I cannot follow them because I'm already following them. So if we go back to our database, you can see that this is the person here, james2@james.com, and they're following this person with this ID here, which is my ID. So if I come in here, this is this long ID. This is my own account here, okay? And then I have this last page of users. We haven't done this page yet. We're going to do it in a second. Then we have the profile, which we still need to do. So let's go back into the app and let's do users now. So users is probably the simplest one. You just basically display all the users. And we're going to be displaying the follow button if we already not following them. So very similar like we did before. Let's delete these other items here. Okay, let's go to list view and let's get all the users. Okay, we're gonna do a query collection, users. That's it, very simple. We're gonna exclude the current user. So we're gonna exclude the logged in user, no need to show them. We're gonna hit confirm. And now we are gonna go to user list and display different things about them. So username, I'm just gonna do email. I'm also going to do email. And remember, guys, if you are storing other things, you can simply display name as well if you have that data. It's very easy to do. And now this button is going to be follow, right? Because we're looking at a list of users, and most of them are probably not going to be users we're already following, okay? So following is a good idea. We're going to do follow. We're going to do 100, 16. And this thing is going to add this user to our authenticated user following array list. Okay, so we're gonna come in here, add an action, database, update document, and the document we're updating is ourselves. So user reference, and we're gonna be adding this user that's being displayed to our following list. Okay, as you can see, it says list. We're gonna say add to set. We're gonna find this user, get their reference, and add them here. And we only want to display this button if we are not following them. okay, so that we can follow them. Condition, comment here, user following, list contains item, this user, reference, opposite. Okay, we don't want to display if this matches. We don't want to display if it matches. Confirm. So now if we are following, and we're following pretty much all the other two users, we're not going to see this button. And so if I run this app again, we should not see that follow button next to the other two users because we are already following them. All right, so here's the app. This is our homepage. We got the people I follow. I can unfollow them. My followers, I can't follow them. And we have users, and I cannot follow them. Okay, find new people to follow. I'm already following them. Okay, so maybe we don't need to display it. It's up to you how you want to do it. So the last thing we want to do is to show our own tweets. Okay, so we're going to go back to the app, select that page. We're going to go to our profile page. We're going to delete all this. In fact, we're going to delete all the user posts here. Well, one user post. We're going to delete all this. And now we're just going to run a query to get the tweets. Okay, social feed, comment here, query collection, tweets, and we're going to set our user reference because we need to reference ourselves from variable, authenticated user, user reference, confirm, confirm. And now we're going to be getting all the tweets, our own tweets, okay? So we need to set the tweet here, tweet document name. And on the user post, we can basically set ourselves. Username, set from variable, authenticated user, email. This is the tweet, and then we can have the picture here if we have that in the database. Right, so let's run this app again. All right, here's the app. We got the screens right here, and we have our own screen, and I have just one tweet. And let's say I want to tweet something else. Name, second tweet, add field. Here's the second tweet. We go back to the app, and we have the second tweet. Another thing that we can do is we can easily add a created date, and then we can sort them by created date, which is very, very trivial to do. And so that's our Twitter client, okay? We have the tweets from users we follow. So I can come in here, I can unfollow, and now the user has disappeared, and we can go back, and we're not seeing tweets from that user again. We can go in here, and now this person is following me, and we can follow them back. We follow them. And now we're seeing tweets from them again. We can unfollow them again. We don't see that button here. And here we have new people to follow. And because we're already following them, we don't have the button there as well. And last but not least, we have our own tweets. We need to just change this to display our own user. But these are our own tweets. We can't really do anything. We can possibly delete them if that's possible. But that's really up to you. Let me fix this last thing right here. We can say authenticated user, email. And now if we rerun this app, everything is going to be working perfectly. All right, so if we go back here, it says welcome and my email, and everything is working perfectly. And last but not least, we need to add a field where they can actually tweet things, and that's very, very trivial. We can simply go to this column, add a row, and then add the text input field right here, text field here, followed by a button. Maybe make the button a little bit smaller. And label the button as tweet or something, tweet. And here we can say share something. And now we need to connect this button to an action. I'm going to choose that button, go here, add an action, database. We're going to create a new tweet. Tweets, the reference, the user reference is us. User reference, and now we're going to add the fields. The name is going to be the input name. So let's take a look at this input name. Let's call it input tweet. Come back here, name is going to be variable, widget state, input tweet. Add another field, we need a UID, which is a reference as well. come in here, authenticated user, user reference. Okay, that's it. And now if you run the app, we're going to be able to tweet and save those tweets, and people are going to be able to see our tweets. So here's that. We're looking at tweets of people we're following. Let's say this is my tweet today. We say tweet, and then we can go back here and we see my tweet today right here. Okay. And obviously people are going to be able to see our tweet if they are following us. So this is how you build a fully functional Twitter client. And you can use the techniques that I talked about in this video to build just about any kind of social media where you need to follow certain people and see the kind of content they're posting. You can take it as far as you want. And remember, if you want to view and clone this specific app for your own purposes, whether you want to learn something about what I've done here or build a real paying app, check out my Patreon page in the description. You can join there and get access to the previous apps that I've built on this channel. They're all over there on Patreon. So that is all that I wanted to show you guys in today's video. Hope you've gotten value here. If you did, make sure you smash the like button, leave a comment below, and definitely subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be showing you how to build just about any kind of app without writing a single line of code. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.